Hi there, it's day 5 of the Sunny Balwani trial, and opening statements were scheduled to start today. But no, the court has recessed for the day. I hear the judge has a golf game, or maybe it's the prosecution wasn't ready to do their opening statement. I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. The reason the court is recessed for the day is because, out of abundance of caution, there may be a virus scare. So the judge, and as I told you before, the judge is quite cautious, as you should be. So they're recessed. They're going to start again on Friday. Friday, they're going to start with opening statements. Hi there, I'm Michelle Hagan. I'm a legal analyst and a former prosecutor. You may recognize me because I provided a lot of legal analysis on the Elizabeth Holmes case. So I thought I would take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit more about opening statement. And also, I thought it would be fun to kind of address 5 of your questions, 5 of the questions that I've received from you, subscribers. And I thought it would be a lot of fun to talk to you about it. Okay, so opening statement. What's the point of opening statement? The purpose of opening statement is to tell the jury what your case is about. It's not to argue. That's closing argument. It's called opening statement, not opening arguments. Opening statement. This case is about racism, contamination, conspiracy. That's from the OJ case, right? Then there's this, the evidence will show, and sometimes you will see attorneys looking at the podium and reading. That's not very effective. And I'm not saying these attorneys would do that. These are experienced lawyers, okay? But sometimes when I work with lawyers, and especially new attorneys or attorneys who haven't tried cases in a while, a lot of times they grab onto the podium and they look down the whole time and they read. Well, this is not that effective. What you want to do is you want to really look at the jury and tell them what your case is about. Give them a theme or a narrative, like I did when I talked to you about the OJ case going way back on racism, contamination, conspiracy. That told you exactly what the defense's argument or the defense's theory or theme of the case. So I'm going to be listening carefully to see both what's the prosecution's theme, what do they think their case is about, and then I'm going to be listening to what the defense is going to say. What are they going to say? That Balwani was conned by Elizabeth Holmes just like she conned everybody else? Or that the technology actually did work? I don't know what they're going to say yet. We're going to find that out on Friday or possibly Monday, depending on how long it takes for the prosecution to do their opening statement. The other thing I want to tell you is opening statement is not evidence, not evidence. However, if I stand up there as a lawyer and I tell the jury that I'm going to have X, Y, and Z witness show up and they're going to be proving this point, and I don't do that at trial, it's called overpromising. Sometimes juries hold that against you. Okay, so I'm just telling you, what happens in the real world. Let's see, an opening statement is really an art. We attorneys spend a lot of time crafting the words that we're going to use, the clothes that we're going to wear, how we're going to appear, what our attitude or our vibe is going to be, right? Depending on the kind of case that we're presenting. I've done a boatload of trials, and I've taught hundreds of lawyers how to try cases. I call them trial skills, how to do an opening, how to do a cross-examination, etc. So anyway, I'm going to be doing that kind of, I'm talking to you about those skills as we go through the Balwani case. I thought you guys would be interested in it. Let me know if you're not, and I'll stop doing it. But anyway, okay, so getting to your questions. So shout out to Eddie, who's one of my subscribers, Yahoo Eddie. He asked, can an alternate sit through the trial? Do they have to sit through the trial, or can they be at home on call? Great question, Eddie. An alternate juror, we have 12 jurors. Those 12 jurors are the ones who are going to be making the decision. The alternates are there just in case one of the 12 jurors gets excused or has to leave. Then that alternate's put in with the 12. But the alternates act just like the rest of the jurors, right? They're there listening. They're there in court every day. They're listening to the testimony. They're taking their notes. They're looking at the exhibits, etc. Okay, but they only get called in when one of those 12 has to leave or gets excused. Okay, let me give you an example. So in the Scott Peterson case, we had juror number 7, Rochelle Nice, that she was an alternate throughout the whole trial of the Scott Peterson murder trial. She was an alternate. It wasn't until deliberations that one of the jurors got excused that she came in as a juror, and she was involved in deliberation, and she was one of the 12 that made the decision. Okay, so I have a question for you. Those 6, so we have 12 and we have 6 alternate jurors in the Balwani case. Those alternate jurors, do you think they're a part of deliberation? You know, when the case concludes, the jury goes to deliberate, do you think the 6 go in, or however many alternates? Yes, no, what do you think? The answer is no. They do not go in to deliberations unless they need to replace one of the 12, okay? So they can't phone it in, they can't be at home, they have to be in court every day, just like every other juror, okay? The other question I got, and a shout out to And His Band, one of my other subscribers, he asked, can you be a conspirator? Can you be an conspirator, if you're not involved in a conspiracy? Legally, technically, no. So Elizabeth Holmes was found guilty of conspiring to defraud investors with Sunny Balwani. So that's conspiracy. A conspiracy is, or she's a conspirator. A conspiracy is when it's an agreement between 2 or more people to commit a crime. So in the Elizabeth Holmes case, it was Elizabeth Holmes and Sunny Balwani agreed to commit a crime, which was the jury found her guilty of defrauding investors. So there has to be an underlying conspiracy in order to be a conspirator. But that was a great question. All right, next question I got is, do you think one of the subscribers asked me, do I think that the defense is going to say that Sunny Balwani was also conned by Elizabeth Holmes, just like all the other investors and patients and other people, right? Allegedly. And again, this is all just my opinion. So do I think the defense is going to present that as a defense, that he was conned, that Sunny Balwani was conned by Elizabeth Holmes? I don't know. We're going to find out. So that's why I'm going to be listening to opening statements to see what their defense is going to be. Next question I got is, what about, can the jury, when they leave every day, can they watch the news? Can they do research about the case? Can they watch The Dropout? The answer is no. They're only, in jury selection, the prosecution, I think the prosecutor's the one that asked this, asked the jurors if any of them had an addiction to social media or to the media, because there was probably going to be a news blackout during the trial, which I'm sure there's going to be, right? The judge, I'm sure, has already admonished or advised or told the jurors that they're not supposed to be getting any outside news. They're not supposed to be going home and doing research. They're not supposed to be watching the 5 o'clock, the 6 o'clock news, any of that. They're supposed to stay away from it because they want to make sure the defendant gets a fair trial and is not influenced by outside sources, outside opinions, or talking heads like me, okay? So, and what's really great about this judge, and there's a lot of really good things about this judge, is that he asked them every day when they came in the Holmes trial, he asked the Holmes jurors, if any of them had seen any outside news sources, were exposed to any media or anything had done any research regarding the case, right? He wanted to make sure each day that they followed his admonition to not be exposed to any outside sources, media included, okay? So this juror, the Balwani jury, I'm sure has already been advised of that. I know they already have during jury selection process. Although if you go back to my prior video, I think I did for day 4, you will find out that some of the jurors accidentally watched, I think, The Dropout over the weekend, and they weren't supposed to, so the judge was a little concerned about that. But anyway, they dealt with it. Okay, next question I got from one of the other subscribers. Do I think Tyler will be called as a witness, Tyler Schultz? Well, I think it's a strong likelihood that Tyler Schultz will be called, or Erica, Chung. She was called in the Holmes case. But if you go back to my video where I did Tyler Schultz calls out Elizabeth Holmes, and you look at those emails, you will see that Sunny Balwani was involved in that. In fact, Sunny was the one who talked about the math tutor when Tyler Schultz expressed his concerns about the reliability of the testing and the accuracy, right? So please go look at that video. Tyler Schultz calls out Elizabeth Holmes. So yes, I think there's a very strong likelihood that Tyler Schultz will testify in the Balwani case relating to the accuracy of the technology and the testing, and that can go both to the defrauding investor counts and also to defrauding the patient counts. Okay, potentially, just my opinion. Okay, last question. I don't want to keep this too long here. Is the judge in the Balwani case, Sunny Balwani's case, is that judge the same judge in the Elizabeth Holmes case? Yes, same judge and same prosecutors and probably mostly all the same evidence. We already know it's the same exhibit list for both the Holmes case and the Balwani case, right? And the reason that is that it's the same 12 charges. The 6 counts to defrauding investors, and then the 4 counts related to the patient, defrauding patients, and then the 2 conspiracy counts, 1 conspiring to defraud investors, and the other one conspiring to defraud patients. Okay, so same judge, same prosecutors, but different defense attorneys. The attorneys representing Sunny Balwani are different than the attorneys who did represent and are representing Elizabeth Holmes. So those are kind of the new kids on the block, so to speak, right? We're going to see how they deal with this whole trial, how they present it, what their style is, what their theory or their theme is of the case, what Sunny Balwani's defenses are. So we'll see. So stay tuned. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Please do let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything or any feedback. Please let me know. Please do like, subscribe, smash the bell, as they say, and share this video. Thank you very much to all you subscribers. I appreciate all the support. So keep it coming. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be doing updates as I can. Oh, give you a last update. For this case, for the schedule for this case, the trial schedule, it looks like it's only going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Only Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday the court will be in session having trial, unless, we did in the Holmes case where we squeezed in a couple more dates during the week so we could expedite the case. So the judge squeezed it in so that they could expedite the trial. But right now it's just scheduled out for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for the trial for the Balwani case. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Leave a comment and please do subscribe.